Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me here for a Bible journaling process video. I am here in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 19, where it says, "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure." It enters the inner sanctuary behind the curtain. That was the most holy place where God resided, and that hope entered the inner sanctuary. Our hope enters the inner sanctuary. Jesus has entered there on our behalf as a forerunner because he has become a high priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek. I'm going to be journaling in my illustrating Bible. And so I've got some space here, and I'm going to go back to something I haven't done in a while, but something I just love to do, using the Distress Oxides to make a background. And then I'll use some of the stamps and stickers to decorate it. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward, and we'll get started. Okay, so I've put a strip of washi tape, and I made sure to first apply that on my pants. I want to get some of that stickiness off, and I'm just using this as a guide, as a mask, so that my inking will not get over into my text. And I'm going to do some color blending. These are Distress Oxides, which means that they are a blend of dye ink and pigment-based ink. And the three colors here that I'm using are Speckled Egg, Bundled Sage, and Victorian Velvet. These are colors that just kind of match the kit, and they're beautiful. I'm blending them in with a blending brush. I do wipe off my brush with a baby wipe in between, and then actually with my pink one, I come in, I use a different brush just so that I don't mix those colors too much. And I do have a few different brushes. I got a set. So they're kind of splotchy, but that's okay because that's going to work with the whole effect that I'm going with. I love doing this color blending and smushing. You first just apply the ink, and then you come in and add some dimension texture with various layers of the ink. And the way that I'm going to do that is the actual color smushing, where I apply some of that ink onto some plastic packaging. Anything will work for that. I spritz the actual ink that I've already blended with a spritzer, a little squirt bottle, and then I'm going to take this, in all three different color inks, I take that ink and then I wet that, and then I kind of paint it around, just splot it around. I do some splattering, splotting, smushing, and all of this just adds texture and dimension and layers of color. I do dry in between my layers with my heat tool, but you could just let it air dry, but that takes too much time for me. So I'm going to do this with the various colors, and you'll see me switching between different paint brushes just to get the right thickness and the right fluffiness and poofiness and absorption of that water, and then also how it applies. So I'm drying all of that. Going to add some of the pink. So I like mixing those colors, and when you dry in between, you're building the colors. They're not going to blend together, they're going to add on top. It's going to be layered. So it's a beautiful effect. And how this ends up, it reminds me of kind of an old vintage map. We're going to do some collage stamping here. So again, I dried my page, doing a little bit more smushing. Now, when I put that mask of washi tape down, I should have gotten more of the stickiness off, because in a few moments you'll see, try to take that off, and it does actually tear the paper a little bit, so there was too much stickiness on it, so be very careful with that. So I'm going to stamp here some, like I said, a collage effect. So I'm taking these different stamps. Right now I've got the ship's wheel, and I'm using that same color, the Victorian Velvet, and I'm doing second generation stamping and third generation stamping. So I'm stamping that image off first on scratch paper because I don't want it too bright. or too intense or too vibrant. I just want it kind of in a background. Now I'm going to add this swirly stamp, and I'm going to add just some of these different images that are here on the stamp set. And you can see I go all around the field, my color field here, and I turn the stamps, I alternate them so that it looks very random. Now I use that Hope stamp, and I love this passage. I love this text. It talks about we have this hope, and that hope is Jesus. It's an anchor for the soul, and this hope, this anchor, is firm and secure. And then it goes and it talks about how that hope, that Jesus has entered the inner sanctuary on our behalf, and because he's done that, it allows us to dwell with God. It allows God to dwell with us. It's almost like that anchor is holding us firm here while we're here on earth to heaven. That anchor is gripping us, is holding us securely to heaven. It's like we have 1 foot here on earth, 1 foot in heaven. Heaven is even here on earth because we have this hope, this anchor. So I'm taking now this scalloped stamp, which I've used as a border, I've used as journaling lines here. I'm using it to kind of look like water, and I'm alternating where I place my stamp. So I'm making those water lines, and here's where it really looks like one of those vintage maps to me. Colors, no, but I love the way this turns out. So I stamp that all the way up, and this is going to be my background. I did use the color Stormy Sky on those scallops, that water stamp, because it needed to be a little bit darker than the speckled egg. Okay, so here's where I'm removing the washi tape. It does tear a little bit. Have to be careful. Pull that washi tape straight back. You see, straight back, and that helps it, especially if you run into a problem like I did. Just pull it straight back, not up, but you want it to be almost at that 180-degree angle. Now I'm going to add some stickers and a little bit more stamping. I'm using the Lucy Alpha Stamp set, and I'm going to stamp out We Have This Hope. And I want to use that ship's wheel as the O in my word hope. So you'll see how this works out. I'm just placing my stamps where I want them to go. And now I'm going to stamp out the word hope. I like starting from here. I'm starting with the word hope because that's kind of in the center, a little bit above center of my page, and that helps me get my placement. So you certainly don't have to start with the first letter of the first word of your title. So I'm stamping this in my Versafine Onyx black ink, which is a good crisp, clear, vibrant black ink. And I do come in and add some white detailing with my white gel pen. But here I'm going to add some stickers to complete my page and to complete my title. Add some of those wonky hearts, especially where my title there is a little imbalanced. So that's where you can add those stickers and embellishments to kind of balance the whole page. And then I'm using word-fetty stickers and alpha stickers and some of the images, and I'm going to spell out, "My hope is only in you, Jesus, for you are sure, steady, and secure." Then I'm going to take this patterned paper on the devotional, and I make a tab out of it. And I'm going to use the alpha stickers that say hope. No, that say my hope. One of the word-fetty stickers that says hope, and then the alpha stickers that say my. I'm going to make, with my flare pen with my flare pen that came in the kit that said Hope. I'm going to make a tab out of that. And I actually do lose some footage here. I'm not sure what happened, but you'll see in a moment. Right now I'm just coming in and outlining my stickers so that they stand out on the page a little bit, those colors against the backdrop of colors. I do it slowly and with a fine tip pen, but I still have mess ups, but that's okay. And you will see here that I now am coming in and I'm going to highlight the verse. So I take a little bit of that ink, I smush it on the top of my ink pad, I wet a brush and I pick it up so I can just kind of paint with that stamp ink. Then I take my pen and I outline the whole passage and underline and just kind of mark that off. So I do come in, I date stamp my page, I add that same washi tape that I used as a mask, and I put that up at the top and bottom of my page to frame the whole page. And I put my clip up there. I add some enamel shapes, and these are from an old previous kit. I add one more sticker down there at the bottom. I will link all of these products in the description box. Here are some still shots, and that way if you want to pick up any of these products on your own, you can do that using my link. It is an affiliate link, thank you, just to give you that heads up. And you can see the close-ups, especially of that background. We have this Hope. Thanks for hanging out with me here today. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Be sure to stick around so you can see the videos of all the others on our team. Thanks so much. God bless. Bye-bye.